Hi, I'm Jodie Rizzo-O'Brien from AWI Extension South Australia. We're here at Kyancutta at the eID workshop for productivity and profitability. I'd now like to introduce our next case study, Kerran Gus Glover from Goldmine Farms at Lock.
So this is going to be a pretty informal few minutes, but I guess, I don't know, when they first started talking about eID, I can sort of understand a lot of what they're talking about with traceability, but my initial reaction to eID and I guess it being imposed on us was a little bit like, why do we need to worry about it? But I could see it was coming, and a few years ago I decided, okay, well, instead of being negative about that, how can we turn this negative into a positive? How can we get this eID technology to work for us, make us, potentially make us more profitable, more resilient, improve our flock? And so I sort of decided to sort of stop worrying about the negative side of things and try and look at it from a positive, and that's the way I guess we've attacked it. And I can see lots of benefits by using the technology. We've just got to figure out how to use that tech, how to capture that data, what data are we, or what traits are we looking for, what data do we want to keep, and then how do we manage that? So we're sort of transitioning to meals free with our flock. So straight away we were looking for breech wrinkle scores and DAG scores as a priority, and to try and fast track that, because for the management of that, we felt that was a really high priority for our flock, for our ewes. We bought red tag eIDs. We didn't have a stick reader. We didn't have any other technology to go with that. We bought the eIDs and we whacked them in the ears in the cradle, and we manually wrote down. We kept track of the tag numbers that were on the tags, and then we gave them a breech wrinkle score, a DAG score, and whether they were born a multiple or a single, because we lamb down in multiples and singles, so we can, we want to keep that data as well. So that was all cool and groovy. Did that in a bit of a hurry, like we do most things on the farm, and then we went to try and then get the technology to start to get this stuff to work. Anyway, got a stick reader, got an eID panel, like a eID capable wayhead, and bought an auto drafter with an eID panel reader on it. So cool, got all the gear and got no idea. So we tried to we had the VID number. We didn't realise at the time that you needed to have, what was it, Dub? The bucket file? The file bucket, whatever it is. Okay, so when you buy your eIDs, that doesn't necessarily mean that everything's unlocked. You need the bucket file, or the file bucket. So the VID number that we didn't correlate, well, we couldn't match that number up with the eID. Okay, so if you learn anything out of today, is when you order your tags, make sure you get that. Get all the files that are associated with your eIDs. Otherwise, it's going to make it very hard to capture the data, or to match all that data up. Anyway, so we did it a little bit backwards, which is fine. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. So we're also looking now, so we did another year, blue taggers last year, and we're only doing the ewe lambs. We're not doing the first 2 years that we've done it. With the blue taggers, this last year we started to track growth rates. We're looking at joining ewe lambs, so we can do that with eID. So tracking growth rates and condition scoring throughout the year. So with the stick readers you can do that going through the classing race, and you can pretty much, it's unlimited as to what sort of traits that you want to track. It's just up to you as to what your breeding objectives are, as to what sort of information that you want to keep. So I guess my comment there would be really just figure out what it is that you want to do, if there is any of that data that you want to keep through the eID system, or through that, or the eID has the ability to be able to keep all that, because you can, depending on what your breeding objectives are, I mean, studs are doing this all the time to identify the animals that are really good doers in their mobs, or to come up with the rams that they have for selection for sale at their auctions. There's no reason why, as commercial producers, that we can't do a similar thing. We may not go to the same extreme as what they do, but there are plenty of traits in our animals that we could track better, in my opinion, and identify those animals that are really, either really good for lamb production or wool production, and we can get the benefits, and we can recoup the cost of that eID really quite simply, in my opinion. Well, that's my take on it anyway. Yeah, so as I said, we decided to go down the path with the auto drafter. With the eID panels on it, because I felt that was the way to go into the future, with an XR500 display on it, and yeah, we've got the stick reader with all the bells and whistles on the panels on the hand, so you can actually enter in the data as you scan up through the classing race. Yeah, I guess there's lots of rabbit holes that you can go down with this sort of stuff, but I think and I see a lot on stuff on Twitter, not so much any other social media platforms, but a lot of stuff on Twitter. I just do what's right for you, I guess, is my advice. What other people are doing, I mean, you can, no doubt today you'll figure out a few things, and there are some people doing amazing things out there with their own businesses, but it may not be applicable to you. Don't get bogged down in that. Just pick some simple stuff to start off with. Get that right, see how that works for you, and hopefully you can make some improvements with your flock based on that, and hopefully I've made some sort of sense out of my little jumbled talk. Any questions?
Thanks, Kerran, for sharing your expertise with us today about how you're using eID on your property for productivity and profitability. The case studies today are supported by Australian Wool Innovations Extension South Australia, Livestock SA, the South Australian Sheep Industry Fund, and the Department of Primary Industries and Regions.